What is going on, YouTube? Coming back with my final preview of all my college football previews, and we're talking about the San Diego State Aztecs, team that had an enormous season in 2015, going 11-3 overall, 9-0 in conference, good for Mountain West champions, and good for, of course, for first in the Mountain West Conference or West Division. So start with the first of my three key players, and I'm going to start with the running back, Pumphrey. So Pumphrey, I mean, when you're speaking on non-Power 5 terms, this dude's a superstar. There's no way around that. I mean, he's looking to break Marshall Faulk's rushing records this year at San Diego State. And he's looking to not, I mean, this dude has All-American type potential. Like, in my opinion, he is one of the top 10 best running backs in college football. And this is a very, very stacked year of running backs in college football. So my second key player is the quarterback, Chapman. A guy who was good in his final starts. I believe he started 3 games, or he won 3 games. There's one of the two, that's right. But in 2015, a little inconsistent in those starts. I believe he has a little bit of power issues, but if he can iron those out, then he can be one of the better quarterbacks in the Mountain West, just because he'll have so much space freed up because of Pumphrey. Teams will be playing heavy in the box. So my third key player is DeMonte KZ, a guy that just, again, absolute superstar on defense. Looked like he was going to declare for the NFL draft this year, decided to stay, and San Diego State's secondary is going to be very scary because of it. It's not just him. Opposite him, Malik Smith, another guy I believe had like 5 interceptions last year. So, again, very, very scary secondary for San Diego State this year. So, move into the first of my 2 X factors, and for me, it's going to be wide receivers. If there's any weak part of the offense, it's the receivers. Michael Holder is going to have to be big this year, coming into his junior year. Eric Judge and Curtis Anderson as well. I believe those two are coming into their senior years. It's not really like they were given a great opportunity last year to be consistent. Like I said, starting quarterback went down with injury last year, allowed Christian Chapman to take over, and looks like Chapman has the job again this year. Now, again, Maxwell Smith wasn't a bad quarterback last year by any means, but maybe a little bit of consistency will help. So my second X factor is stingy defense. This is a defense that will be very good along, in my opinion, all 3 levels. Alex Barron, Kyle Kelly on the defensive line will be huge threats coming into their senior years, I think. And then you got Ryan Dunn, Calvin Munson at the second level with linebacker. And then, I mean, I mentioned how good the secondary is. Naeem McGee, Cameron Kelly, other 2 guys I didn't mention, also very, very capable players. So get into my trap game for San Diego State, and I think it's going to be Northern Illinois. The weird thing about San Diego State's schedule this year is because repeating as conference champions to them would be so huge. I don't want to put like a non-conference game as their most important, because it's just not going to be. But Northern Illinois, they have to go to Husky Stadium in Illinois, and again, going to be a tough game. Northern Illinois never an easy out, and for San Diego State to put together a dream season, which they will be very capable of doing this year, they're going to have to get past not only Northern Illinois, but also California, the game before that. In my opinion, their 2 toughest games. So get into my biggest game for San Diego State, and I think it's going to be Colorado State. This sounds extremely weird. I mentioned before their toughest game is not in conference, and it's hard to find their toughest game because I want to say it's going to be Colorado State, and maybe Fresno State, maybe UNLV, maybe Utah State. But again, Colorado State's the final game of the season. They'll be 1 game away. Colorado State, I think, will still be a bowl team this year. So there's that. But again, it's more or less just the fact that it's the final game and the game right before the Mountain West Conference Championship if San Diego State does get that far. So moving to my record prediction for San Diego State, and if you're a San Diego State fan watching this, you're probably going to be pretty happy with this. I think they're going to go 13-1 this year. Now, I think they're going to end up slipping up in the Mountain West Conference Championship game, because I think that's going to be one of the conference championships to watch this year. I think Boise State will actually end up beating them, because I think Boise State's actually a little bit better, or a little bit more of a complete team. They got a much better quarterback in Brett Rippon, and yeah, anyway, I think San Diego State will still be able to get to a very good bowl game and still be able to have a 13-win season, which for any non-Power 5 team, that's monumental. So that'll pretty much do it for my San Diego State football preview for 2016 and pretty much all my previews for 2016. I believe that marks 83 total. And you know what? It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun at the same time. There are a few previews that were not the most liked because it did take a lot of research to do this, but overall, it was a fun time. Got to express my opinion on over 70 teams in every single conference in the FBS, so it was a lot of fun. So that's pretty much it. See ya.